what the hell am I doing here? I was wondering the same thing. Knights of the Zodiac is based on the very popular anime. There's a series on Netflix, and there's other movies going back. And the Saints say, yeah, yeah. Saga Saints say, yeah, yeah. Say, yeah, say, yeah. Say, yeah, I guess. Maybe we're going back to the revival before they became FTR, FTR, FTR. Yes, getting wrestling references and a whole bunch of stuff in this. I'm going to say right now, I know nothing about the anime. Absolutely nothing. I have heard of it. I've seen a couple clips, and I've seen some still shots. It looks kind of cool, but honestly, the appeal of anime basically comes down to some movies. I mean, Suzume was great, and I own other anime movies such as these, which are not anything like Knights of the Zodiac, and then also stuff like this. So, and there have been other anime movies I've seen, Weathering with You, and so I like anime, but as far as being any kind of seasoned expert on this, I have no goddamn idea how close this is to the source material. And it was directed by a Polish guy who was given $60 million. They said, look, just go do this. Go do something. Just look at these still pictures and read this stuff and just go do something. Go do something goddamn worth it. I mean, you got Famke Janssen, you got Sean Bean, you got Mark Dacascos, who was in this, Brotherhood of the Wolf. Should watch this, because he was great. God, he was great. Monica Bellucci was also in this. I mean, this is a great movie. So, yeah, back to Knights of the Zodiac. There were three people. Three fucking people wrote this. Three people. Two that wrote 10 Cloverfield Lane, and then one guy that wrote Cars 3, and Raya the Last Dragon, which I have been meaning to check out. And yeah, basically it's a live-action adaptation of a popular anime. And knowing nothing about it going in, I was just ready to sit down, see something fairly entertaining, and within the first 10 goddamn minutes, I'm like, oh no, oh goddamn no. This is like the Dragon Ball Z live-action movie. Or like Dragon Wars D-War. This was atrocious. Even as somebody, again, that knows nothing about the goddamn source material, I could see this and be like, oh god, this is going to piss a lot of fans off. I mean, I don't know. If you were a fan of this particular anime, let me know if this was even modestly close to the source material. Did it honor it? Did it utilize a $60 million budget? Well, no is the answer. It didn't. A lot of the special effects look like they wouldn't have even belonged in 2003. By the way, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen came out in 2003, and that movie has aged like milk. I also retro-reviewed that. Check that out. So yeah, all this, I mean, not even lore, but just something that fans love, and you get a chance to put it on the big screen. And you got a couple name actors. Famke Janssen's been in a whole lot of stuff. She's been in the X-Men movies. She was in House on Haunted Hill. She was also in Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, which I really enjoyed, even though it was complete garbage if you really tried to, peel back the one layer of story that it has. And Sean Bean. I mean, he's terrific. He's been terrific in a lot of stuff. And you had Nick Stahl in this, who pretty much was, remember he was in Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines? Nick Stahl's actually pretty good, and then he's just been put in random weird roles for no goddamn reason. There's a guy named Mackenyu, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. He plays Saint Seiya. That's Seiya. And he fights for money. And then he discovers that he has some sort of powers, and he must also try to find his long-lost sister, who was kidnapped. And he must harness these powers because, oh no, some evil person is coming down to destroy them all. Actually, not coming down. Maybe coming down from their fortress of not solitude, because it's right in the middle of, well, God and everybody. But going to come down and going to destroy him, and also try to get Sienna, who is the reincarnation of the goddess Athena, played by Madison Isman. And yeah, are you following me so far? Good. I'm not. This basically is just taking mythology and it's putting people, with crazy powers and everything, and if they have the right mind, body, and spirit, they can form armor and they can do great things and have these big old epic fights, and this movie was trash. This is absolute trash. This is one of the worst goddamn movies of 2023. I was baffled by the levels of incompetence on display here. It is like every single, and there are a lot of good actors here. The young actors, I feel, got a raw deal here. There are just characters that just pop up for no goddamn reason, barely any explanation. It's like they took a look, hey, we see these pictures, we read these names, we have this idea of the story, okay, just put them all in the goddamn movie. And they are bound and determined to make this a franchise, because they were really trying to make this all epic and crazy with these fights, and I mean, the fights are okay. They're okay, at least the first couple, but then it gets monotonous, and then there's these action sequences that are pretty ridiculous. I mean, Mark Dacascos, he does great because he's great. I mean, he's been great, and like Brotherhood of the Wolf, like I showed, and Iron Chef, just wild. The guy who hosted Iron Chef America is doing. He's great though. He is great. But God, this movie just wastes and wrings out any potential and just drops it like a moldy sponge in the sink that you don't want to pick up because it just keeps smelling really badly. You want to get rid of the smell in your house, but you just can't bear it. You don't have a glove, and you don't want to pick it up with a paper towel because you get the rotten spongy juice on you and everything. And actually, I'd rather have rotten spongy juice dripped all over me rather than watch Knights of Zodiac again, or Knights of the Zodiac. Basically, there's this energy, the energy that they harness to be these great fighters is called Cosmo. Because it comes from the sky, it comes from the universe. I guess, again, I don't know anything about the goddamn stuff. If there's a video that explains this stuff in, maybe not granular detail, but quick enough, you can let me know. But as far as just somebody that was just wanting to watch something fairly entertaining, good goddamn me, this was shit. They took a look at this and said, yeah, every single one of our actors acting in every single one of these scenes seems like they're being held hostage, like their family members' lives are on the line, but they want to deliver the lines as flat as possible. We're just going to waste Famke Janssen, who looks incredible for nearly 60, by the way, and the other name actors. We're going to cut the legs off of the young actors that we have. We're just going to make everybody seem stupid. This Makanyu guy, who really does seem to be trained. He has a good look, and you can tell. I think you could even see in his eyes, he's like, I don't believe this stuff. I'm just going to sleepwalk my way through this. And then you also have another guy named Nero, not with his fiddle, played by Diego Tunico, who was fine. He kind of reminded me of if Fez worked out before, well, he got into NCIS. Yes, believe it or not, the actor who played Fez is in NCIS. Time is weird. Knights of the Zodiac is also weird, because it's weird they thought this deserved a theatrical release. This was apocalyptically awful. The action scenes just dissolved to where it's just computer-generated effects, but not even good computer-generated effects. There's this wraparound story about, you can't let fate decide. You can't let, your obsession dominate your true self, and you can't let an obsession dominate what your true, meaning is. You just can't be obsessed over something. You must find your true purpose. Find your true porpoise. I would have rather seen porpoises fight in armor. That would have been more interesting. Get on that, Asylum. What the hell's wrong with you? Yeah, there were knights in there, eventually. The movie just ends up being a mess. It's just a goddamn mess. And there are no good villains. There are no good heroes. There's nobody worth rooting for. You just want to slap every single character in this goddamn movie. Knights of Zodiac is trash. Absolute goddamn trash. Whether it is close to the source material or not, I do not imagine that the director is going to get much of a chance to do anything else big. And I'm sure he tried. I'm sure he did. This movie also seemed like it was translated from... because I think they filmed it in Bulgaria. So translated from Bulgaria to English, back to Bulgaria, and then back to English through an AI program that had a virus. And then got more viruses the more it tried to translate this stuff. And all we ended up with was an infected series of goddamn effluvia just barfed out on the goddamn plate. And served to us here. $60 million is the best they could do. The Pope's Exorcist cost $18 million. And it did better than this. Renfield cost $65. Maybe that's a bad example. That movie didn't do all that well. This movie is going to flop. It's going to flop like Dragon War, D-Wars. Oh, what a waste of any of the star power it had. What an embarrassment. What a goddamn embarrassment. I'm going to get into spoilers. It's in theaters if you want to check it out. It'll be out on streaming soon. See if it's close to the anime. Why not? 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Okay, so Seiya has to train. He also must defend Sienna before she becomes Athena, because she can't unleash her powers because spoopy, oh my god, I'm losing control. It's like adolescence if people grow up and eventually, you know, have weird energy fields around them. Sean Bean is protecting her. The sister actually is missing, but the sister tried to protect Seiya. And then basically it ended up... Basically, what ended up happening is he had to find his true purpose, not fight in this weird offshoot UFC pit that Nick Stahl operated under the order of Famke Janssen's character. None of these names really are important, by the way. They're really goddamn stupid, and every actor just seemed like, please, let me just get through this as quick as possible so I can cash my check. This made Dungeons & Dragons from 2000 seem competent by comparison. Yes, that's how bad Knights of the Zodiac was. They tried to make a franchise out of this. This is franchise killing. I don't know why they thought this could be the launch of a franchise. This is terrible. Had this been on Netflix, I mean, Netflix would have put more effort into it. They honestly would have. This was just, god damn it. Basically, Seiya ends up getting rescued by Sean Bean and Mark... Dacascos' character, and they have this weird secret lair, like hideout. He meets Sienna, he, too many pronouns, pal, sorry, Vince McMahon, and they have an unlikely alliance eventually, but he must go and train with with somebody, a redheaded, you know, woman with the Gladiator faceplate, like the guy that spent 5 years in retirement. I haven't watched Gladiator in years. Sorry, I don't remember the name, even though it's a great movie. Played by Caitlin Hudson, who is incredibly beautiful. Put her in more stuff, please. She would... None of the actors were necessarily the worst in this. I don't blame them. It was how the characters were written, or if they were written, or if they were told, your family's going to die. Everybody you know and love is going to die if you don't act in this movie. You don't have to act well. You just have to act so we can churn this out. And then that's how they acted. But he must harness his energy, and eventually he gets the energy, and there's this dog tag thing on there that's representative of, you know, being a being of the cosmos and a knight. He must become the Pegasus Knight and defend Athena. And eventually he does. And eventually he has to fight Nick Stahl. Nick Stahl, who's got to be easily one of the worst villains in modern movie history. And not because of him. He's a fine actor. Famke Janssen, there's a tie together with her and Sean Bean. That's Athena, Sienna is their daughter. Oh, okay. Or, you know, it's just... Or it's the girl they raised from birth because she crashed down to Earth because a guy impersonating Goldar got killed in a fight. I guess. I don't know. None of these characters mean anything to me. Then, Seiya basically has to fight back. He attacks and kills a whole bunch of people, eventually bursting through. You have Nero, not with his fiddle, who becomes the ultimate villain when Famke Janssen realizes, oh my god, I've hurt my daughter because I can't hurt my daughter. Why did I do that? Sean Bean, meanwhile, had blown himself up because Sean Bean must die in every movie. I mean, honestly, Sean Bean dies in every movie. Even if it's a family comedy, they'll write him off on screen. Sorry, Sean Bean, you can't survive any goddamn movie. The mortality rate among Sean Bean in his movies must be like 20 to 80. Like 20% he survives, 80% he doesn't. Did he survive Silent Hill? I barely survived Silent Hill. Let's get back to this. The fights are really bad. There are these body armor suits that Nick Stahl's character and Nero wear. Well, Nero doesn't, because it's like cyborg stuff and it's controlling for whatever goddamn reason. And then there's this big ultimate clash where Sienna had given herself up after this big old explosion that Sean Bean done. No, don't beat him up. Don't beat him up. I love him. Beating up Seiya, and then he decides he's going to come rescue him. Oh, and also Mark Dacascos' character is alive somehow. He had armor-piercing bullets and fought people, fought some of those soldiers, which actually was about the only halfway decent action scene in the later part of the movie. And then Nero and Seiya must fight, fight, and fight, and fight, and fight, 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 the Knights of the Zodiac show. And then they just fight and do really bad CGI stuff. And while I'm sure that there was effort among the actors, it looked like shit. It was really rushed. It was really blurry. And then, it turns out, by the way, the sister was actually kidnapped or taken away, haha, because Sean Bean was like, I need to take your sister away to protect you, and your sister gave herself up. But Famke Janssen realizes that she made a mistake, and she's trying to save her daughter. All this stuff is happening within about a 15-minute period. And then we get Sienna unleashing her Athena power because she was almost drained on this giant, cultish block. And then she rises and she was having these dreams that she was unleashing and destroying because the goddess Athena is either of wisdom or warfare, and I'm going to destroy. She starts destroying. She stops Nero, bursts his armor off and everything. And then Seiya gets his armor going, and she's like, you have to do this before I kill everybody and everything. And then he says, no, I will not do that. I will not leave you. I will not do that. I love you. And then a tear rolls down her goddamn cheek like she's the princess from Neverending Story. So we felt like it was never-ending. And then, oh no, it broke, and then stuff kind of reformed, except all the trees and the wildlife that she torched, because the goddess Athena decided to torch everything. And then, hey, we're going to go look for your sister. Also, Nero's alive. Somehow bursting the armor in an energy field that should have killed somebody didn't actually destroy him. Famke Janssen, by the way, her character had her arms blown off when she was holding Sienna. And then Sienna restored her arms. Because apparently she can do that. Because she's old enough and she learned to harness her power through the power of true love. And then, yeah, they hinted at a sequel. We're going to go find your sister. Bold of you dumb fucks to assume that anybody is going to want a sequel to this. God, eat fucking shit, Knights of the Zodiac. Just as somebody that wasn't even a fan of it, just wanted something entertaining, you put this out. This might piss fans off. This might cause fans to go just absolutely riot in the streets. Maybe not, but they'll tweet their displeasure. F. It gets an F. Knights of the Zodiac sucked. It was terrible. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.